Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, you would think that after all of the memes and all of the parody targeting Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her ridiculous hyperbolic rhetoric, that she would take a moment to think and maybe step back, realize that she's being a little bit of a drama queen, and just stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
But of course, you guys know that's never gonna happen. Grifters never stop grifting. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is, of course, peak grifter. And it seems as though Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's new grift has been to make everything about herself, constantly playing the victim card. And well, today she takes it to a whole new level in her most recent GQ interview. Firstly, why the hell is GQ doing puff pieces on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? It seems as though Gentleman Quarterly has become They Them Quarterly. Of course, the circus is back in town, folks. The clown show continues, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez continues to be the main act. We had Jennifer Lawrence yesterday and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez today, and well, I mean, my brain hurts. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has another
Here's your words, here's your words.
I was murdered.
You were murdered. Okay,
I was murdered moment. And we just gotta highlight the obvious grift and of course the clear hypocrisy. We've got some stuff to get into, friends, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, take a look at this right over here. AOC talks about her future ambitions with a heavy comment. Realistically, I can't even tell you if I'm going to be alive in September, and that weighs very heavily on me. Take a look at this. I hold two contradictory things in my mind at the same time. One is just the relentless belief that anything is possible, she said, but at the same time my experience here has given me a front row seat to how deeply and unconsciously, as well as consciously, so many people in this country hate women. Okay, and they hate women of color. People ask me questions about my future, and realistically, I can't even tell you if I'm going to be alive in September, and that weighs very heavily on me. And it's not just the right wing. Misogyny transcends political ideology, left, right, and center. This grip of patriarchy affects us all. Not just women, men, as I mentioned before, but also ideologically, there's an extraordinary lack of self-awareness in so many places. And so those are two very conflicting things. I admit to sometimes believing that I live in a country that would never let that happen. Oh Lord. I don't know if you guys were able to sense it through the microphone or through the screen. I am seriously cringing right now. AOC claims that she lives in a country that hates women and hates people of color. You know, that country that voted for Barack Obama not just once but twice. You know, that country that shows all of those polls with Michelle Obama being the leading contender in a hypothetical Democrat primary. Of course, she says that it transcends both political parties, but she's also subtly alluding that it mostly exists on the right wing. Even though Republicans in 2020 elected a record amount of women to Congress, and probably the most high-profile candidate heading into the 2022 midterms is none other than Carrie Lake. And let's not forget that Americans almost elected Hillary Clinton, one of the worst political candidates in American history, almost won a presidential election. People like to pretend like Hillary Clinton lost because she's a woman, but Hillary Clinton lost because Hillary Clinton is Hillary Clinton. Being a woman in the end probably benefited her to a certain extent. What I think people didn't like about Hillary Clinton was her acting like a total Karen and playing the woman card at every point and turn. That's probably what turned people off, but of course nuance within this discussion never works when speaking to leftoids and their patriarchy narrative. I mean, I just mentioned Jennifer Lawrence in the intro. Since we made a video on her Vogue interview, well, recently Jennifer Lawrence claimed that it was an outrage that she got paid less than Leonardo DiCaprio in the most recent film that they did together, and that the only reason Leonardo DiCaprio got paid more is because he's a man and she's a woman. Again, completely ridiculous. I mean, utterly ridiculous. The simple fact of the matter is that Leonardo DiCaprio has been a massive box office draw since like the 1990s, for almost 2 decades before Jennifer Lawrence was even on the scene. He's one of the top actors in Hollywood. Jennifer Lawrence did The Hunger Games. There's absolutely no logic, no nuance in this discussion. It's nothing but I'm a victim to my patriarchy, my identity, and my skin color. But what it really is at the end is a total cop-out. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is totally delusional. First of all, you're 35 years old and your political track record is tiny. I mean, she's being questioned here about becoming president of the United States, about her future political ambitions, and possibly running for president. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is rated the least effective member of Congress. She's never never had a single proposal pass the House. She represents a highly partisan far-left district that doesn't represent the rest of the country. I mean, her own party rejects her because her political ideology is so extreme and so ridiculous. She's only been in office for, I think, 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. Her tenure in office is extremely short. She's accomplished literally nothing, and I literally mean literally. She's done nothing. She's passed no legislation. It's not like she's a massively popular and successful governor with an incredible political track record, like someone like Ron DeSantis, for instance. And she's complaining that the reason that she's not the top presidential Democrat contender is because of skin color and genitalia. It's a level of delusion that I cannot comprehend. It's why I call it a grift, because I just cannot accept the fact that a human being can be so out of touch with reality. It has to be a dishonest, self-promoting grift. And speaking of a dishonest, self-promoting grift, the quote from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez where she claims that realistically, she can't look to the future because she can't even tell you if she's going to be alive in September. Almost like she's taking notes from LeBron James, as if she's under serious risk with a target on her back every time she leaves her home. Just give me a break, another I was murdered moment. Like on January 6th when she wasn't even in the building, yet she claims that she was almost like a soldier on the battlefield, describing a ridiculous event that clearly never happened based on the facts alone, claiming that Ted Cruz, quote, tried to have her murdered. And now, apparently, I guess after the extremely traumatic Alex Stein moment, after Alex Stein told her that she was beautiful and his favorite big booty Latina, she's seriously at risk. I mean, seriously, guys, stop laughing. The same exact word comes to mind from yesterday's Jennifer Lawrence video. It's just insufferable. You're not at risk. And you're also a massive hypocrite because you objectively put people at risk. This is coming from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who's called for street violence multiple times, who's promoted bail funds for rioting criminals, AOC, who still continues to refuse to condemn the violence and intimidation tactics that frankly she called for against SCOTUS justices. Well, now she's going to claim that she's the real victim and she's at threat from extremism, political extremism, and violence. The whole situation is just laughable. And what it really is delusion of grandeur. The audacity of her to think that she's a real player, a real contender when it comes to the Democratic primary process for the presidency. I mean, give me a break. And the idea that there's this MAGA extremist right-wing crowd that seeks to commit violence against her. I mean, you're really not that important. People make little jokes and memes about you, and that's pretty much it. Outside of you saying something dumb and people laughing on the internet and making memes of it, you're really all not that relevant. And that's how you can tell this whole thing is just one massive grift. It's a cry for attention. It's the drama queen political strategy that we're seeing from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And once again, the whole thing is just insufferable. Of course, as well as laughable, it's also pretty damn funny. But of course, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible, folks. I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.